All right, so Elena said hi, and she wanted me to ask you first of all about the promotion going on at the National, and if you have any tips or tricks for people to avoid the long lines for these silver packs with the redemption of Panini.
That's a very good question. Elena, hello. Real rule is you just need to know when the lines start opening for those. I mean, and you got to kind of camp out. It's like the old days, camping out for concert tickets. A lot of people come and just sit there until the rapid redemption lines open, but they usually move pretty efficiently, pretty quickly. And I think if the last decade or so is any indication, the wait is often worth it based on what you pull out of the rapid redemption pack.
That's what she said. That's what she said. She also said that you like to climb up on the truss.
Yeah, I've done that for several years, just because the time I do it is usually coincides with our biggest box wars of the entire show, and it's the prize for that particular box war is a ticket to our VIP party on Saturday night. And so the crowd that participates in this box war is so impressive that you can get a drone to take probably the same photo, but it's not nearly as fun or dangerous. I think maybe I've been they're going to try to prevent me from doing that this year, but don't be surprised if you see me climbing scaffolding again this year to get the good picture.
There we go. I didn't know if that was like a redemption that was hidden within the national packs. I didn't know if there was the Tracy redemption that got you up on that trust. She gave me no context to that story, so I'm thinking, oh man, this guy's wild.
Well, it started as a way to get a really good picture of just the crowd. You know, it's just such a fun event. The entire week is phenomenal, but that particular box score just brings in a lot of people, and the photo is hard to get. It's hard to get perspective when you're on because I'm not that tall either. I'm only like 5'8", 5'9", so being mobbed by people, I can't get the accurate portrayal of what the booth looks like at that particular moment. So usually I had the idea one year of climbing up the scaffolding, and the way that Kusi builds our booths, they're so sturdy that it's never really dangerous. But I will say that a few years ago, somebody posted some photos on social of me doing that, and my wife saw them and was not happy at all. Wanted to know if I had a harness, was certain that it wasn't that our HR department was probably not on board with that, and she's kind of tried to prevent me from doing it again, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I understand. I'm sure the legal team at Panini might not be a huge fan of that as well.
It's certainly not in the handbook for sure.
That's really great. So when it comes to the national, things like that, what's the goal of a company like Panini when you're there? Obviously, visibility and interaction with fans and customers, but what's the overarching goal at a thing like the national for Panini?
Well, so the national for me it's annually one of my favorite events, and I think for me as well as maybe from the company at large, it's just one of the few times every year that you get to just be with the people that make your business, that make your year, that enable us to do what we do, the customers. It's usually from the time we get in till the time we leave, we're on our feet in the booth talking to great customers, hearing stories. Sometimes we get valuable criticism on products, how to improve them, criticism on customer service or things that we can do better. And we welcome that feedback too, but it's also putting faces with names that we deal with throughout the year, that we've dealt with throughout the decades. It's just a feel-good time for us to kind of put our best foot forward personnel-wise, and interact with the people who have blessed us to be able to do what we've done for so many years, and to get invaluable feedback. And that's both from a consumer perspective, but also from a business friendship and partnership perspective, where we get to spend quality time with you guys at Dave and Adam and all our friends throughout the industry.
Absolutely. That makes total sense. Do you have one particular horror story that you can share from an interaction you had at a national over the years?
Let me see. That's a really good question. I think one of the stories that stands out that resonates with me still to this day is it was one of the first years that we did the Rapid Redemption Silver Packs. or one of the first years that those silver packs were a way to get into the VIP party, one of the first VIP parties. And I'm great friends with Scott Prujo, one of my best friends in the industry. He's the one that kind of makes the Rapper Redemption packs. And we were the first day of the show. I think it was the first full day on Thursday. We found out really quickly that the packs were so popular and the party was going to be such a hit based on the quantities that we had at the time that we weren't going to have enough packs. And just the sheer panic that set in with Scotty, and I'm sharing a room with him as well. We shared an office for 11 years, and so we roomed on the road. And so the sheer panic that set in with him, the look on his face when he discovered that we weren't going to have enough packs was heartbreaking, but also the fact that we were able to rally, and Scott really on his own was able to rally to make things happen in that tight window to make sure that we did have enough stuff. It was kind of a miracle that he did it, but the fact that I saw him kind of at one of the lowest points of his career, if you can believe that, and then to see him turn that around was pretty. That stands out to me. And then we've had so many a lot of my favorite stories of the National happened like in the hotel room when we're like wrestling on the beds, even as 45 and 50-year-old men, we're doing power drops and things like that because it's just silly and we're all kids at heart. So
absolutely. It brings you back to being, 8, 10, 12 years old, touching the cards and collecting packs and ripping, 1987 Topps baseball, something like that. So take me into the Panini VIP party. What's that like?
Well, we kind of raised the bar on it every year. It started kind of smaller, great guests. I think the vibe from the very beginning was to treat our best customers and your best customers in many cases at David Adams, treat them to a really chill experience that they wouldn't ordinarily have. So the goal from the beginning was to bring these athletes in. There's no pressure, and it's them just hanging out with their party guests, just like you guys are all party guests, and just to share stories and take some photos. And usually all the athletes will sign their stuff in advance, so there's no signing at the party. It's just rubbing elbows with, grabbing a drink with, or some of the greatest athletes who've ever done it. I mean, we've had, just the short list off the top of my head, guys like Joe Namath and Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, and Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. It's just the list goes on and on and on and on. And we seem to raise the bar every year. The last few years, we've also added a musical guest element to the party. So last year, if you would have told me 20 years ago that I would be backstage in quotes at a 50 Cent concert, and tell you you're crazy, but lo and behold, I was, and that was awesome. And so it's just a really great opportunity for us to celebrate what a successful year we've all had in this industry, not just us at Panini, but to our most valuable business partners and customers.
That's a great way to put it. And, being in the hobby now and understanding experiences you can't put a price tag on, right? And that kind of access, or just that once in a lifetime experience to meet somebody who, you've admired or you've watched or followed, there is no price tag for that. And I appreciate those kind of, once in a lifetime or once every year, or, experiences that can't be replicated on a piece of cardboard. Have you ever been starstruck by somebody you've met when you were working at Panini?
For sure. I mean, I still, I've met so many. I've been blessed to be in this business for almost 30 years. So I've met just so many people that I never would have had a chance to otherwise, from the legendary late great Kobe Bryant to I'm a huge football guy. So any football player that's been anything probably over the last 50 years, I've probably met them at some point. And I'm not bragging. I'm just trying to illustrate how fortunate I think I am. But the one guy who still gets me tongue-tied, I've met him 3 or 4 or 5 times, had interactions with him, is John Elway, just because I was a huge Bronco fan growing up, and he was the guy. And so when I first met him, I still don't know what I said to him. I've interviewed him for media opportunities and have done things with him. And I think the last time I ran into him was about 10 years ago, and I don't remember what I said to him still. And it's just he's just one of those dudes that's larger than life for me. And but Vance Johnson, a receiver for the Broncos back in that era, I got to meet him. Was probably the only guy who recognized him as he walked past me on Radio Row one year. I chased him down and made a fool of myself, but just those two guys really stand out, and they shouldn't probably because.
Well, John Elway, absolutely. No, I appreciate the Vance Johnson story. For a little bit of background, Tracy, I'm from Buffalo. And obviously David Adams here in Buffalo, and I worked for the Buffalo Bills back when I was much younger, my early 20s through late 20s. And then, growing up here in the Super Bowl years and then being in the locker room, and I found myself in the locker room one day standing across from Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith. And I can't tell you anything that happened after that. And I was trying to give him some, it really is. It's wild to see somebody who you've watched on TV or admired or collected or whatever. And, they're your childhood heroes. And now here you are standing, like face to face with them, and you're just some random person to them, but they're like, oh my God, I completely froze. And it took me, I worked there for 5 years. It took me probably a year and a half, 2 years before I felt comfortable going in the locker room and seeing any of those guys. It's an odd experience if you've never met one of your childhood idols. Yeah,
they always say don't do it, but I was lucky that Elway was so like self-effacing and funny and just humble, and so, and same with Vance too. It's like it was just a cool experience.
I love it. So you got another big event that I wanted to talk to you about this weekend in Indy. Panini is sponsoring WNBA Live at the WNBA All-Star Weekend. Talk to me about that if you could.
Yeah, the WNBA has been just a huge over the last 2 years. The seasons has really blown up, obviously for a lot of the obvious reasons. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reeks last year, Paige Becker this year. And I think we've been able to embrace that, celebrate that, and grow with it over the last. I mean, we've been in the NBA space for quite a while, but obviously it went to another level last year and this year. And so to be a part of that at WNBA All-Star Weekend we had a great time with it last year. I think this year very similar. We're going to have some of the top players, rookies and superstar veterans coming through our booths and coming through our space, interacting with customers and with fans. And that is another opportunity for us. Like any event like the All-Star Games or the rookie photo shoots, it's an opportunity to enrich our working relationship with the athletes who help us roll and help make our products so strong. We're looking forward to that again this year with a great group of all-stars that we have coming through. And I think the thing that's really helped, or one of the things I love most about the way the WNBA has exploded in the last few years is that these are unparalleled rookie classes from Caitlin and Angel to Paige and company this year. It's really helped fans at large understand more about the league beyond the rookies and to recognize the great veteran superstars who've been part of this game for a while, who kind of helped lift the league up too.
Absolutely. It's crossed over to somebody like me who did not watch the NBA or WNBA and didn't really know or follow it very closely till a couple of years ago. Tracy, I have to admit, last night I had a bet on the Golden State Valkyries game. So I'm like, you know what? Now I realize the home run derby is going on, and here I am in bed with my wife watching the Golden State Valkyries because I had $25 on it on DraftKings. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? You got me hooked here. So doing the research for this interview, seeing the WNBA live, is that obviously a fan fest, kind of like NBA All-Star Weekend, whatever? Fortunate to be in Indy this year. I'm sure it's going to be gigantic, with the whole Caitlin Clark buzz and all of that. How large is that festival now?
I haven't attended one yet. I just know that our team here, I work with a few of the product development members who run that team, Yasmin and Bob Britton, and they were there last year. And it's more just kind of it's almost like an extension, or at least Panini America's presence at that event is almost like an extension of our VIP party vibe. It's really chill, laid back. and the athletes will come in and they'll sign a few photos and they'll meet with fans, and then they'll take some pictures and get in the Panini photo booth and create their own virtual trading cards. And it's more just like a meet and greet, chill vibe hangout.
That's really cool. Is Caitlin going to make an appearance?
We have our fingers crossed. I mean, it's in her hometown, and we're based on our relationship with her, our exclusive relationship with her. We've had the great chance to spend lots of time with Caitlin, and I hope that later this week provides another opportunity for that.
Absolutely. So I know that Donruss WNBA was just pushed back, but is coming out soon. And I imagine that the Caitlin Clark Downtown is going to be one of the biggest hits for Panini in a long, long time.
Yeah. That'll be a huge one. Obviously, with the rookie royalty product that hit a few weeks back with the kabooms and the downtowns and that kind of the rookie year versions. I mean, you talk about some collection making like single cards that have come from that product already. And then Donruss, it's like so many people were questioning where the downtowns were, where the kabooms were. And then we launched Rookie Royalty kind of as a direct-to-consumer product, and the rookie stuff was in there, and it kind of exploded. But yeah, her first like pack pulled downtown card would be huge, and just the overall growth of the WNBA market year over year has been spectacular. I mean, we knew it was going to be big, but I don't think we could ever have anticipated just how big it was going to be.
Yeah, it's really wild. Like I said, when you got a 49-year-old guy in Buffalo betting it on a Monday night of All-Star Weekend,
expansion team, no less.
Yeah, right. I know, and it's getting closer to Buffalo, right? There's going to be a team in Detroit and Cleveland, and then Toronto as well. So I feel like it's going to become accessible to people up here in the Northeast. A couple more here for you. Are you into downtowns or uptowns more? We've had a big debate here about the downtowns and the uptowns. Where do you stand?
Oh man, this is almost like asking me which one of my kids I like better. So I'm a fan of the history of the downtown, but I like the look of the uptowns.
Okay.
So I'm kind of torn. We have a debate internally why one is singular and the other is plural. I don't know. I wasn't involved in that decision, but I think downtown narrowly takes it, I think, for me. By
a hair. Okay. I get what you're saying. So we actually have a hit parade product here. It's called From Downtown, where it's a reboxing, and so people will buy into a group break, and then somebody will be guaranteed a downtown. Usually do it by division. So, like for the NFL, it's 8 people buy in and one person's going to get the card. It's honestly, it's our most popular single box group break. People love chasing downtowns. We sell out of a run of 100 immediately. I try to grab some for the group breaks that I do, and those go almost immediately. So we're waiting for the uptown one. I kind of agree with you. I think I like the marquee on the uptown, like a theater marquee. I think I like the presentation of it better, but the downtown is just so clean and is so not basic, but so traditional, and you're used to it, that it's almost like, you don't want to mess with the golden goose, right? Like it's but you guys did a good homage to the downtown with the uptown. Is there one person there in charge of downtowns? Is there a downtown like cubicle or like how many people work? It's our favorite insert here at Dave and Adams, just to give you a little peek behind the curtain. So how many people are directly working on downtowns every day?
Oh man, that's a good question. There's no downtown cubicle or department. There's no downtown department here. I would say our creative director David Tierney does a great job. We have so many of our graphic designers are like long-standing veteran, like high-level designers who've been working on not just trading cards but Panini trading cards for so long that they have you'll never probably know them. You'll probably never see them, know their names, but they have such a huge hand in what some of those cards have become and the followings that they've established. And so I think it's a group effort between David Tierney and his designers, and then the product development side telling. It's a collaboration that leads to so many iconic ideas.
Absolutely. And going back, and when we have some retro rips here, and you rip things from the 90s or the early 2000s, and it's a different, I mean, I'm sure everybody always says this, but it's amazing to me. It's almost like you're holding a different product. Like there's nothing from like early 2000s to now that even equates to the same. It doesn't even look like you're in the same industry anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, those calling card inserts that it's been fun to watch, like the following that they've gathered organically, like just people, and then you fast forward through a few years, and then it's just this expectation that it's going to be met with this kind of industry-wide embrace. It's been fun to watch, and then the different types of things that generate that type of following, whether it's Kaboom or Color Blast or Downtown or Uptown, and everyone has their own favorite, and that's the real beauty of like the design aspect of what we do. Is like not every design appeals to everybody the same way.
Sure,
it's an eye to the beholder. So your Uptowns might be somebody else's trash, but they might love Color Blast better, or Kaboom, or Black Color Blast, or whatever. It's really interesting.
One of our best TikToks that we've done is when we blind ranked Panini inserts, and it was Color Blast versus Downtown versus Kaboom. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, buddy. Downtown versus Color Blast versus Kaboom. 3, 2, 1, go.
Downtown, Color Blast, Kaboom. Okay, I'm going to say, for me, I'm going to say Downtown is 3, Kaboom is 2, Color Blast is 1.
Really? Okay, Black Color Blast or the traditional white?
The traditional white. I love the Black Color Blast in the way that it switched things up, but I think the white, there's just something about the way the colors pop.
Before I let you go here, buddy, is there anything else that you want to talk to us about? Let us know it's on the way. Obviously you're going to be at National and then WNBA Live this weekend. What else is on the docket for Panini? How about some Patrick Mahomes stuff? One of the most hated men in Buffalo. One of the most hated men in Buffalo, New York. So yeah, talk to me about Patrick. And
yeah,
Panini.
At long last, he's back. His autographs are back in Panini products. It's been a few years, and so he's accomplished quite a bit. I think since the last time he's had on-card autographs and autographs in general in our products. So we're thrilled to have him back in the fold. We've had a great relationship with Patrick even before he entered the NFL. I think when the day that he announced in Lubbock, Texas, that he was entering the NFL draft. Out of Texas Tech, he actually flew to Panini right after that press conference and met us for the first time and just kind of came in to visit. I think it all started a really great relationship, and it's been fun to watch him kind of become this next level, like legendary QB in a short amount of time. He's not even 30 yet. I don't have to tell Buffalo fans.
Yeah. You can talk about how fun it's been, Tracy. It hasn't been that fun from this end, bud.
Well, I'm a Broncos fan. You got to keep that in mind.
Fair.
It's kind of it's really bittersweet for me, but what's not bittersweet, what's awesome is that his autographs are back in our products for this season, and that's exciting.
Now he's your coworker.
Right. He's a business partner now. But yeah, the National, I'm really looking forward to that every year. We're usually always situated nearby the David Adams booth, so I always get to give Adam a hard time, and Troy and everybody over there. So, but really, it's one of my favorite times of the year every year, just to visit with people, because I've said this before, it's a relationship business. It's not a trading card business. It's a people business, and so the National is our chance to visit with the great people that we only get to talk to via text or email or phone or something.
Sure. All right. Last question. Will you or will you not be at least 10 feet in the air on the truss taking a picture?
All right. Just between us?
Yeah.
I'm going to be up there.
There you go. That's why you've been there 30 years. You put your body on the line for your for the love of your career. It's been really super. It's super nice to meet you. It's been great to talk to you. I appreciate your time and your insight, and I would love to do it again sometime.